Can this crypto bounce be trusted? Is the bottom in for Bitcoin and the altcoins, as the Bitcoin price right now is retesting the lows that it saw all the way back in February? Well, in this video, we're going to talk about how stable the Bitcoin price is right now, as well as look into some key on-chain data as to whether or not we're going to see that fall more towards the downside or potentially see a bounce here. We're also going to be talking about key altcoins that have seen incredible strength over the past few weeks, despite seeing a fairly scary market, because these are giving us signals that they could be the top performers when the crypto market truly decides to start warming up into the future. Do me a favor, hit the like button, and let's get into today's video. Once again, the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index is now reading extreme fear for the first time since all the way back in February, when we saw the Bitcoin price pushing down to lows of $60,000. Whilst we then saw the price of Bitcoin grinding up nearly 38% and many altcoins having some decent price moves, price then capitulated once more, pushing all the way down to lows of $59,200 just a few days ago. Whilst we are seeing a bounce here, there is still a lot of panic and worry across the markets. So our job is right now to analyze some of the on-chain data and see how likely it is that Bitcoin can stick this landing and potentially grind back towards the upside, or at least hold this level in the short term, or whether we are likely to see massive capitulation towards the downside into kind of October time, which is pretty much what everyone across the market is believing right now. Now, right now across the crypto market, the belief is that Bitcoin has bounced in this current zone because it's hit into the 200-week moving average. It's also run into the Bitcoin production cost, which is this purple line on the bottom. And that production cost has remained support for Bitcoin for years and years. You have to look all the way back to early March 2020 to find a period of time where Bitcoin really spent more than a few hours significantly under that zone. Right now, you can see it's basically bounced off of here. Back in February, it also breached underneath of here, but basically found it as support. Now, these are just some indicators and they are useful to look at, but there's actually a lot of on-chain data that we can look into right now that should allow us to understand whether or not this is a really good entry for buying Bitcoin right now and altcoins, or whether we should really be waiting for a bit longer. Now, the first thing to understand is what really happened during this sell-off over the past kind of 4 or 5 weeks. Now, during this time, this all happened on very low volume, which means that predominantly it happened because of leveraged traders going long and effectively getting liquidated without having any sort of spot buyers to step in and buy the market. Now, why are we not seeing any spot entries into the market right now? Possibly a lot of unease of what's going on in the Middle East, oil prices, as well as other conditions, or maybe we're just seeing aggressive market manipulation right now. But I think there's a big story to be shown here on CoinGlass in the weighted funding rates. Now, over the past few weeks, you can see that despite the Bitcoin price kind of warming and hitting towards neutral in terms of sentiment, and lots of people still being very bearish, we did see a lot of long traders enter in, which was obviously a concern. When lots of people were piling into longs despite the price falling, it means that those people were eventually going to get liquidated. Once they get liquidated, effectively their buy trade gets flipped and turned into a sold trade. This causes a cascade in price, and obviously we saw this to take place. Now, what is a little bit more promising to see is these kind of red areas here. It shows people trying to jump into shorts, but again, we've seen a bounce in the price, and you can see once more people are trying to long this bottom. We ideally would like to see a lot more panic and fear to say that for sure we're not going much lower here, if we're just looking at the open interest, that is. But the fact that this is back to neutral should give us a little bit of confidence. Even if we were to dip a little bit underneath, the chance of a cascading price move underneath doesn't really exist without having significant amounts of leverage in the space. But what about all the spot sellers? What about more panic selling should price drop underneath? Well, good point. But first of all, remember that we're already in extreme fear right now, which means that most people have already capitulated. Also, if you look at this from check on chain net realized profit versus loss breakdown, you can see some very key areas here in terms of people realizing their losses. Okay, so effectively they bought up high, they then sold. So people here, for example, would have bought up in and around October time, they then sell once the market crashes, they then maybe buy back into the market, they then sell again on this capitulation, price then grinds up, people then buy again at $80,000, price then falls, they then take the loss again. This is typically how people work in crypto markets. It's better to zoom out and react without emotion, have a plan in place. You can see that back when FTX crashed, there was 3 major capitulation events. The final one was a heavy time pain related loss. What do I mean by time pain? Well, this. Back in like February, okay, there was a low, lots of people very angry and upset. They soon cheered up once the price moved back up here. Right now, however, the anger and frustration is significantly bigger than it was in and around February, despite the fact that the Bitcoin price, at least, is around the same level. And according to the others versus Bitcoin chart, which is the altcoins, many of them are actually higher than that level that we saw back in February. But the time pain is exhausting. Sitting at these lows for a long time is stressful, it's uncomfortable, and it really can grind people down. That also adds to this capitulation event here. And if you think back all the way to like mid 2023, the Bitcoin price pumped all the way up here, and eventually it had a little bit of a sell-off here before continuing to the upside, and that again caused a massive capitulation event, even though it was significantly higher than the FTX lows. So it definitely takes a lot of time before that sentiment warms up, but by then it's often too late, and many of the best entries have already been taken, specifically on the altcoins. So the question right now is Bitcoin going to go much lower than where it is right now? To be honest, if you look at the on-chain data and you understand a lot of the mechanisms that we've just talked about in terms of how many people have jumped in, how many people have sold, etc., many of the similarities here are what we saw back after this capitulation event for the FTX crash. And remember, that happened after hitting huge euphoria. We weren't in euphoria back here for crypto in general. It was much more disappointing than many people expected, which means that we didn't get a lot of retailers aping in like we typically do. Those ones that did eventually capitulated either here. If everyone has already sold, most people are already out the market. If lots of people are not going long right now, then we will stabilize in this area. What we would like to see is maybe a bit more kind of buying ETFs, etc. coming in. If we, however, start to build up here and you start to see that open interest going up, cause for concern. So in the very, very short term, it's key to pay attention to this on-chain data. And what we also want to see is the CVD, or cumulative volume delta, starting to move in the right direction. This shows you that there is a lot more buys coming in than sells, and this ultimately can start to trigger a bit more FOMO, a bit more excitement. So it's all hanging in the balance in the shorter term. I think really the chance of a catastrophic sell-off like many people want, at least now, is very, very unlikely. I think more or less you're going to get at least a bounce here. It will be interesting to see how that data runs. If we continue to see more improvement in the macro and we start to see crypto closing the gap on things like the stock market, the Nasdaq, and all the other things that it's always historically been correlated to, then you're going to see Bitcoin playing the catch-up trade. Maybe, just maybe, we see a Clarity Act passed. Maybe this is something that gets things going again. So really, I know that everyone is literally sitting there right now thinking that we're about to see one of these take place down here, but actually the stuff that you really need to drive a move like this just isn't really there. Okay, there's a lot more stability in the price right now because it's just not very interesting, right, when it's sat down like this. No one wants to be in the market. Everyone's scared and fearful. Everyone's already sold. Typically at that point, once you start to see buyers coming in and slowly buying up any sort of sold off supply, eventually you find a bottom, price comes back up. And we did this back in February. Obviously, it took more time. We didn't see the excitement return that we hoped for, but ultimately, just back down into this area. And that's for Bitcoin. But actually, something far more interesting has been happening for altcoins in the background. I know, altcoins, the dirty word over the past few years, have had a painful time. And it's predominantly because of this chart that you can see in front of me. This was December 2021. That was the top of the absolute crazy altcoin season where people were buying property in the metaverse for tens of thousands of dollars, pictures of monkeys for $500,000. You get the picture. Everyone went absolutely crazy. There was huge euphoria. Since then, we got a massive macro drain, and that has caused capitulation for altcoins versus Bitcoin. Despite having brief altcoin season periods in early 2024 and another one kind of late 2024, in general, it's been a tough time for alts. But something very interesting is showing on this chart now. Now, as you can see, over time, this has been grinding lower and lower and lower, but it actually bottomed here back in June 2025, then put in a low in October on that kind of liquidation event, and then since then, it's been grinding up higher. Over the past 5 or 6 weeks, altcoins have been massively outperforming Bitcoin. Not every altcoin, but a lot of key altcoins like Near Protocol are up 165% from those February lows. WorldCoin up 109%, Hyperliquid 207%, and a few others have also been looking decent. And chances are, if you caught my video that I made just the other day, you'll understand why the others versus Bitcoin and the copper versus gold chart are really worth paying attention to right now. You see, copper versus gold is kind of a good barometer of the health of global markets. When the copper prices are going up, it shows lots of money is being spent on manufacturing, on expansion. Copper wires used in electric cars, in computer chips, in manufacturing and production of building buildings, you get it, okay? When markets and global economies are strong and people are building, copper prices go up versus gold, which goes down. Gold is something you hold when the markets are not looking particularly healthy, which is why the gold price was kind of rallying at the end of last year before we moved into quantitative easing that started to get the ball rolling again with the manufacturing index, the ISM. This chart right now is doing something very key to pay attention to. You can see that it runs very closely in line with others versus Bitcoin. This top came in here around January 2022, which on the copper gold chart was around here. Then you can see all the way down to these lows, interestingly kind of coincide here. You're starting to see this make a turn now. If we do see ISM numbers coming in strongly this month and we see copper breaking out versus gold, you could well see altcoins having a bit of a breakout. Remember, whilst the Bitcoin price has been suppressed, many altcoins fell incredibly early. They've been underwater for a very, very long time, and many of them have just been kind of bottoming out and waiting for kind of better times to arrive, giving us decent entries in these current conditions. And before I show you a few examples of ones I've personally been buying into over the past few days and why I've been buying those ones specifically, because I do think that they're going to see much better upside when the sun fully returns to crypto, I just want to shout out this from Yubit, because they have a current deal on where you can deposit $100 and then you can get to trade a free $1,000 position. Right now, the markets are looking very exciting for potential good strong bounce. All you got to do is go over to this, download the application. You can deposit $100, and if you trade, then you can also get a $1,000 voucher. There is also huge numbers of other vouchers available. So if you're looking to try and get lucky on this being the bottom of the market and ride this towards the upside in a legendary trade, you might as well do it with somebody else's money. Sign up through the link down below so that you can access Yubit for this today. So then, which altcoins have we seen looking strong and why specifically those? Well, I've been talking about these in many videos over the past few months, and I'm pleased to see just how well many of them have held up despite the chop that we have seen in the markets recently. And the best thing to do is to let you know basically the thesis, right? Effectively, the crypto market is full of altcoins. We know that, right? Many altcoins will never see the light of day again, but lots of them will. And that's because eventually, at some point in the future, whenever that might be, you're going to see the crypto market return to strength. Whenever it does, strong projects who've got lots of cash in the bank will go and rally. We know this because you saw it over the past few months. You saw Near Protocol wake up. You saw Hyperliquid basically running to all-time highs. You saw WorldCoin waking up out of nothing. You saw a few others as well having very strong time. All our job is to identify coins that have got lots of money in the bank who will at some point in the future decide that it is time to rally their coins up. Do you really think that many of these coins went up like 100 to 200% in like a few days because lots of retailers were coming and buying? No, retail didn't come in and buy anything, right? Market makers are starting to pump, VCs pushing money back in. These coins will run strongly, retail will eventually get in, and once the sentiment warms up and everything comes together, then you get those legendary runs. One of the best places to look to find coins that are actually generating revenue. By the way, if you missed this before, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you got this far through the video, make sure you hit the like button. Also, leave a comment down below if you're enjoying this kind of alpha and you want more tutorial type videos talking about how to find good quality altcoins, etc. that will see good rises once the time is right. Now, on DeFiLlama.com, you can see where fees are paid. This is very important. Coins that are making lots of money. Hyperliquid makes $2.49 million per day. You've got Pump Fun, also making good money. Uniswap, Lido, Sky, very, very interesting to go and look at all of these. Eventually, these coins are likely going to see some time in the sun. What's very important is even if the market looks horrible and they have horrible charts, these projects won't die. Okay, because they know that once the market's good, they can push tokens towards the moon and everybody gets involved and then they can make a killing. Okay, so this is the game plan. Find good, strong projects, buy their tokens when the chart looks horrible and everyone who doesn't know about this doesn't want to touch them, and then eventually you will get to sell them for a lot more money. This is why these coins particularly have been pumping over the past few months. You can then look at individual chains. You can see what's activities going on chain. So for example, Solana, I know a lot of people are worried about Solana right now, but the stablecoin market cap rallying, there's lots of activity. You've got Pump Fun on Solana, Jupiter on Solana also making some good money, Meteora as well, probably worth looking into these. This one's a DEX and this is like a DeFi platform on Solana as well. Eventually, once you see markets warming up, these coins again tend to do well. So let's just quickly look at some charts just to show you what's possible. Now I quickly want to show you WorldCoin. Okay, this is very important. If you go to WorldCoin, you can see that it did basically come down and it had this low. This was the October low. You can see it basically refines that October low. Yeah, it comes down, it starts to round off, and eventually there was 8 or 9 weeks where it sat in and around this zone. If we look at Jupiter right now, which is a DEX on Solana, again making some good revenue, you can see that the token's still sort of holding this low that it's been stuck at for months and months. Eventually you suddenly saw a bit of warmth return to the market. Jupiter goes up 103%. Guess what? It corrects all the way back down as soon as nobody wants to be in crypto anymore, but eventually, you know, it comes back to life. For me, it's about buying into the markets when there's good value and then waiting for better times. If you can't cope with any kind of chop in and around here, you probably shouldn't be buying into crypto. Near Protocol, again, dipped down into this zone, never really got back to revisit it, okay? Stayed more stable up here despite seeing a bit of a sell-off. If I was to be looking to get into it, I would only be looking to get into it down in this green box. Personally, I hold some near. I'm just waiting for better times. I will not add more whilst it's up there. And just another example, a coin that did really, really well back in 2024 that I never got too involved in, mainly because it was very overheated back then. And there was like kind of absolute euphoria for this token beyond others. But right now it's been doing something very interesting. It's gone all the way down here, had a significant sell-off over the years. And then you can see a very nice kind of bottom base establishing. What I've basically done is drawn green boxes on these strong tokens, set alerts in them, and if the price gets back in here, I might buy a little, and then I wait, okay? I don't buy in up here and then get sad. I don't buy in again up here and then get sad, okay? I buy the absolute lows when everybody's already sad. Some coins don't manage to quite hold in their zones, okay? So Sui, for example, was holding very nicely, eventually did come and capitulate underneath this zone here. Is that reason to panic? Well, let's jump across here again. Take a look at what's been going on Sui. Yes, you can see the TVLs come down. Not amazing, but still $490 million in terms of daily volumes. They have active protocols generating revenue, and there is stuff going on Sui. Sui is also a very interesting ecosystem. So whilst price is down into this zone, I'm still kind of waiting and happy to get involved down here. If something is basically just going a route one towards the downside, effectively don't necessarily want to load up. You want to wait until it's kind of established itself at least a base or started to bounce and put in some sort of a move like this. Fetch AI did come back into the zone, didn't really quite get fully down, but the good thing about Fetch, right, it came down all the way in February. It then had another low in the 4th of November. It's been retesting this box over and over again. Eventually it comes down from those lows, it rallies up 105%. Eventually this will find its base and then it will run once more when the time is right, when those market makers decide to press the button. Again, Aether making more revenue than pretty much any other deep in project out there. Obviously has had a pretty tough old time, but again, found its lows back in early February, has been bouncing off of that zone, now has breached underneath it. I would like to see it come back in here. Once it's starting to do that, maybe I'm going to start adding more and then just waiting. So that's just some insight into some different coins. Look at what's been happening over the past kind of weeks or so. Some coins you've probably been aware have rallied very, very strongly from that particular bottoming zone. They're giving you a good sign that there will be brighter times ahead at some point. That is your bet, okay? You're betting on some point, something happening in the future. Also, the good thing, if they're making millions of dollars a day, these crypto projects won't die. They're going to stay alive and eventually they have their good times. Anyway, guys, that's all I have time for. I might do some more tutorials, maybe even do a live stream later in the week. Tell me what you think down below, and I will see you very soon in another video. Thanks. Bye-bye.